We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Devin Haney says to his ops, I gave y'all 3 months, and he hints at a return to the ring after the Ryan Garcia initial loss that was later overturned to a victory. Now, Devin Haney, he's been very off the radar since, I would say, since Ryan got the fight, you know, since he tested positive and the fight was eventually overturned. You know, Devin Haney's just been off the grid ever since the overturn. Like, he popped out and he was dancing at a bowling alley or whatnot. A lot of people clown that video, like, this is weird that you're bragging about it. And then shortly after that, he kind of disappeared. He did reemerge at Crawford Madrimov fight as, you know, a guest, just somebody watching the fight. And now he's popped back out. Devin Haney says that he gave y'all 3 months, right? In a brand new tweet, Devin Haney says, I gave y'all 3 months, ... Now, just right off rip, let me give you guys my thoughts. What the does this even mean? Like, I'm so confused right now. I'm so confused. What does he mean? I gave y'all 3 months. We weren't the ones in the fight. We weren't the ones that got dropped. So what do we need the 3 months for? Like, he's almost acting like he gave us some sort of charity, or like he did us a favor, if you will. And I don't really even understand that at all, because if anything, he needed the time to rest and recover and reassess and regroup from a grueling fight with Ryan Garcia. So if you guys know in the comments section what this truly means, other than my interpretation, the way I'm taking it is he's saying, I gave y'all 3 months, like, hey, I let everybody have 3 months without me. I was on the low, but now I'm back. That's how I'm taking it. But again, that seems rather weird given the circumstance. Like, nobody else was affected but you and Ryan. Like, this was your fight. The fight, I think, didn't deliver. It delivered as a fight, but it didn't deliver financially what was expected. Both fighters then complained that they didn't get paid for the fight and things like that. And then the whole fiasco after the fight, Ryan testing positive, him saying it was tainted, Devin saying he's a cheat, Victor Conti doing daily texts and tweets and posts saying kind of the obvious. Ryan Garcia had Ostarine in the system and updating the fans what Ostarine is and does. I mean, it's actually been, and I'm not even being funny, but Devin Haney's making it like, hey, I gave y'all 3 months, and he says the game ain't been the same. About time I come back. And I disagree. I think the game has been perfectly fine. In that time, Gervonta Davis caught a body with Frank Martin. Shakur Stevenson came back. Virgil Ortiz and Boachuk had an absolute banger. Martin Bacoli put himself on the map with a great fight. Terrence Crawford came back, showed skills. Virgil Ortiz, you know, he had his comeback, his second fight, I think, of this year. Madrimov acquitted himself well. You had the whole Crawford Madrimov card. Rayo acquitted himself well. So I can't relate to what Devin Haney is saying. He's making it sound like boxing has been dry in his absence. In addition, you had Canelo versus Munguia. You have Canelo Berlanga, who are now doing the press run and promoting their fight, which has been surprisingly enjoyable, given the fact that many people didn't prefer that fight, didn't want that fight, didn't request the fight. So to me, Devin Haney's on his own. He's making it sound as if the game is like filling a void. For example, like when Michael Jordan left the NBA, there was a void. If you grew up in the 90s, then you'll know what I'm talking about. When Michael Jordan left and then came back, he was playing baseball and stuff, there was a major void. I'm pretty sure sales were probably down for Chicago Bulls season ticket holders. Jersey sales were down, things like that. That's what Devin Haney is making it sound like, coming off of this Ryan Garcia performance, that him being in this dormant stage, that the game was quiet. But really, I just gave you an introduction of many things that have happened since the fight with Devin Haney. Like even Tyson Fury versus Usyk, if I'm not mistaken, that happened after the fight. So Devin in his mind is saying that, yo, the game been quiet and the game is missing me and things like that. Whatever. The other issue is, notice Boxing Ego don't change what he says, because I have to be changed, like meaning you have to enlighten me for me to go back on what I said. Meaning, like, if I have a thought and you can't disprove that thought, then I'm gonna keep thinking that thought. Headstrong, stubborn, whatever you want to call it. But I don't even really call it stubborn, because I won't just stubbornly agree to something, even if it was my prior thinking, if I've been proven wrong. You know, I'm intelligent and I know when to admit defeat, if you will. But I told you at the beginning of this fight, this would be a bad look for Devin Haney in a lose-lose situation. Still saying the same thing, right? You can say, oh, but he got his O back, Ego. That's great. He got his O back, but the perception has potentially forever been knocked off kilter by what transpired. How Ryan acted, then him testing positive, is insult to injury, but it doesn't change what people visualize and were able to see. I don't care what anybody says. People can get mad at the channel. Good. Don't watch my channel. That's the best thing you could do. If watching Boxing Ego offends you, then please don't watch me, because I want you guys to all be healthy. I said what I said. I meant what I said. The way that fight played out was pretty horrific for Devin Haney. Furthermore, he took a beating and he's talking about, I gave y'all 3 months. I truly, truly believe that Devin Haney should sit the rest of the year out. Now, I'm not on his team. I'm not him. I don't navigate his career. I'm just merely a YouTuber who's earned his stripes in the game, and I'm giving you my personal opinion. I mean, look at him. He looks like he's seen heaven or something. Like the pearly gates open up. Like, this look crazy. Just the fact that this picture exists and he's looking up at Ryan like he see God or something in heaven, that looked crazy. This looked like the Crossroads music video or something. And I'm gonna miss everybody. And I'm gonna miss everybody. Living in a hateful world. It looks insane. It looks crazy. In my opinion, which hasn't changed, I think that it would be to his benefit, Devin, to take the rest of the year off. Now, he did say some other stuff about like money. He like, the millions can't keep me away or something like that, or I won't lay down, whatever. Again, it's Devin Haney's decision. It's his life. It's his career. But you were pounded, my guy. No Diddy. Pause. By Ryan Garcia. And to extend what, or like to continue what you were doing prior to the Ryan Garcia fight, I think the more time, the better. You know, within reason. Ryan Garcia, very well, he just, in general, he looked like he had Devin Haney's number. Like, Devin Haney, I think in round 3, he landed a pretty big shot that drove Ryan Garcia back. That was his best punch, Devin Haney's best punch of the fight. And it did a fraction of the damage. When Ryan, who looked sloppy throughout this fight, looked like he didn't train, said he was drinking, went on podcasts before, during, and after, said he didn't take it serious and he wasn't going his hardest in camp and he was messing around with OnlyFans models and saying he was married. He was just acting bizarre. Like, let's just put it that way. He was doing a lot, stuff you wouldn't really advise. Most back in the day, boxers used to go to Big Bear and, you know, the Aspen. They go to these secluded areas to train and get a good camp away from the maddening crowd, right? Ryan did the opposite. He's Gen Z, and he did literally the opposite of that. And he said, I'm just going to pop out. I'm going to be everywhere. I'm going to be all over social media. I'm going to taunt the Haneys. I'm going to act the fool. And he did it. And to a degree, even with the fight being overturned, he still won because he's dropping diss songs. It's not like he didn't get paid. Like, see, that's the thing. If people want to fix the cheating and PEDs in boxing, then boxing has a long way to go. I've never condoned cheating. I've never condoned like ill-gotten wins or anything like that. But we have a long way to go as a sport because here's the thing. In boxing, there's not enough penalty for the action of I could take somebody's life in this sport, and cheating just makes it worse. You could take someone's life and not be a cheater. You dig? So imagine if you have anything in your system that's not supposed to be in your system. Ryan got a year, which I told you he was going to get a slap on the wrist. It happened. Everything Boxing Ego says, I keep proving my worth in this sport. The best in the business, and it's not even close. Told you he was going to get a slap on the wrist. People were saying he was going to get a lifetime ban, a 5 years ban, a 2-year ban. I said, no, I don't see that. People were saying that because Devin Haney's team petitioned and wanted not only the fight overturned, they wanted it credited as a win, and they wanted to set that precedent in New York. They even cited Badu Jack versus Lucian Bute fight, which had zero to do with it other than the fact that one of the combatants had Osterine in his system, Ryan Garcia, and also Lucian Bute. And if we're going to do that and credit Devin with the win, or like the New York Commission, if they were going to do that, then what about the people who think that Sergey Boachuk really beat Virgil Ortiz? What about this picture you see on the screen? And many people believe Lomachenko actually beat Devin Haney. So what about their wins? What about their performances? People think they won and then they don't get it reversed. So I told you that wasn't going to happen. What would happen is what did happen. It was changed to a no contest. So the road back, I still believe, is very hard for Devin Haney. You know, he was trying to look cool with the shoes and the flair and the fear of God stuff, but he was sliding all over the place. Ryan's power, he couldn't manage it well. He couldn't seem to free himself defensively to get enough space when Ryan did actually throw punches. Because keep in mind, this was not Ryan's sharpest night. Like, I've seen him, if you look at literally, I'm gonna go on a limb. Outside of knocking Devin Haney down a gang of times and nearly stopping him, this was the worst that I've ever seen Ryan Garcia. And I know that might be shocking to some, and I'm oh so serious. Ryan, when he fought Fortuna, he looked in better shape. He didn't look like this. Ryan coming off a loss to Tank when he fought Oscar Duarte. He did some weird stuff in that fight, like turning his back and doing the Victorville shell, the Cali shell or whatever that was. But overall, he looked better. Like, he still looked sharper. I don't know why he was doing the Victorville, California shell though, right? This Devin fight, he truly looked bizarre through most of the fight. And it was weird. It was almost like a father playing with his kids, and you don't think, because it's your kid or whatever, you're like sparring with them or just like boxing, and you don't really look at them as a threat. So you're just like toying around, throwing some punches, letting them throw punches back. And then like, let's say that your kid clocked you with the big shot, then you like start taking it more serious and, you know, get more serious. That's what this fight looked like to me on behalf of Ryan Garcia. It seemed like he was almost, it was like so exaggerated. Like you see him in this picture, he's showboating. I think that was in the 12th round. And I think what I think happened, and this is just, you'd have to ask Ryan, but I truly believe that Ryan was distracted for whatever reason in training camp. I believe that. He was partying, he was drinking, he was messing with chicks, he was flirting, you know, whatever. He was doing all these things in camp. I don't think that was part of the shtick, part of the gimmick. I think he truly was lacking in terms of his preparation. He didn't train like a boxer. So he is an experienced guy, you know, having an amateur career, things like that. So what I believe happened is he knew he could beat Devin Haney, and he didn't fear him, and he didn't think Devin Haney could hurt him. So maybe that's part of the reason that he trained in such a half-ass way. I don't know. But when he got in there, and then, you know, Devin Haney was trying to show heart even after getting hurt in the first round. I don't think he was in the greatest of shape. So he had to do things to buy time and just make sure he didn't get hit, and then kind of recharge his battery a little bit. And as soon as he let punches fly, it looked like this particular picture every single time. So I think he was having stamina issues, because you can lie on social media, you can say this and that, but boxers know the square circle is the ultimate lie detector test. It's the ultimate truth serum and polygraph. And what you did in camp is going to show in that ring, right? And I think that Ryan Garcia, he has a lot of natural ability, and that's what kind of carried him in this fight. Natural speed, natural power. He has that. He's always kind of shown that. Even in the videos he does, like the Instagram videos and the body shield challenges and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of what carried him. But by no means did Ryan Garcia as a whole look spectacular. I think he was, really unfocused in the build up to the fight. And he did all this to Devin Haney, all things considered. Again, some people, they're going to say, oh, nope, Osterine. Osterine is a SARM. The SARM is not going to be this magical potion where you're guaranteed to have a result. Is it cheating? Absolutely. Is it banned? Absolutely. Not taking that away. But I think a lot of people are suggesting that this particular, I look at everything on a case-by-case basis. A lot of people are suggesting that this particular occurrence and this particular substance was the reason that, like the full-on 100% reason Ryan Garcia initially won the fight. I do not believe that one bit. I think Devin Haney had some flaws. He couldn't stay away from the left hook. Because here's the thing, even if a guy is on drugs, which we don't condone, I've never condoned that. I won't condone that. You know, I've never had to cheat. But even if a guy's on drugs, which has happened in boxing, right? You got to look out for the foul. If you're not getting hit with foolishness, then they're just a strong, roided out person. But if they're not clipping you and hitting you with the punches, then of course, if your defense is tight, then you really have less to worry with. You know, like I highly see, this is a thing, and I don't even want to rejudge this because I've actually been enjoying boxing without having to keep going over this, because the Haneyacks get mad and all this and that. But I'm gonna say it like this: in the sport of boxing, you guys are naive. There's a level of naivete where people believe that the only fighters who have cheated are fighters who have actually failed drug tests. I'm here to let you know that is not the case. In fact, if I really was messy, I know fighters that box and I know people on their team, and I know people that have done illegal substances that you would never suspect, and they've never been caught, and they've never flagged and been suspended or fined or anything for it. So that's the number one misconception, that the people who are getting busted, that's just like saying all the drug dealers in Miami are the people who are in prison in Miami. No, those are just the ones that got caught. There's other drug dealers that have been moving stuff since the Escobar days too, but maybe they didn't get caught, you know, or they couldn't get charged for the major crime or whatever happened in their independent situation. So I know what I'm saying. There's other fighters that have definitely fought people who are on something. And I'm telling you, it's not a fix-all if you do some of the right things or have the right ingredients to offset somebody being on anything. It's not me excusing Ryan Garcia. He's being suspended. The commission did their job and they found the punishment. Good. Not mad at it. But I think Devin Haney, he has to be careful about his comeback. I think if he comes back this year, it should be a low-level opposition. The harder the fight, the worse he may look, you know, coming off of that Ryan Garcia performance. Who knows how you take a punch? Who knows how you're going to fight? I mean, the Ryan Garcia fight really messed up Devin's trajectory. I don't want to beat around the bush. That's what I truly feel. It really messed up his trajectory, right? It was a kind of a silly fight because Gervonta Davis already beat him literally the year before Devin Haney. Had a flawless performance against a bigger Ryan. He was never hurt. Gervonta never got hurt versus Ryan Garcia. He had dropped him in the second round and stopped him halfway through the fight. And this is what I told you. This is why I said it was a lose-lose for Devin Haney, because real talk, on a barometer scale, you weren't going to outdo Tank. Your power's not set up like that. And Ryan Garcia wasn't confined to any type of rehydration clause. Then he like weight bullied the weight bully, you know, things like that. And nobody wants to lose twice in 2 years. So Ryan could have been on some by any means necessary stuff. So I knew this fight spelled trouble, but I think they were clout chasing Tank, and Devin was so thirsty for a big fight. He got what he was looking for, but it turned out to be a show, what it is. And now the trajectory that he was on, because he was on a steady incline, undisputed, fought Lomachenko. People were saying like he was the best of the four horsemen. He beat Regis Prograis. He looked good in that fight, looked strong at the division. And then 5-6 months later, the worst showing of his career, even if it got overturned, what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Devin said he's given us 3 months, whatever that means, even though he was the one that got dropped multiple times. What do you want to see? Do you think Devin should come back for the money and come back and try to make a fight this year? Let me know in the comment section.